You're live, Andrea.
Thank you.
Andrea, I think you can begin.
Awesome. Thank you, Nini. Good evening and welcome, everyone. For those of you who don't know me, my name is Andrea McGee, and I am the host for this evening's All Student Welcome Meet and Greet. I am the Daniels Faculty Registrar and Assistant Dean Students. I hope that you all had an amazing first week of classes and that everything has been going well. We have a short presentation prepared, and then we'll open the floor to questions. Please use the Q&A function in your Zoom to ask any questions that you may have. But first, I wish to introduce one of your fellow undergraduate students, Paul Katia, to provide the land acknowledgement for this evening. Paul?
Thank you so much, Andrea. At this time, I just ask that everyone please put their cellular devices away, just to show our appreciation to the land that we're residing on. So land acknowledgement is as follows. We wish to acknowledge this land on which the University of Toronto operates. For thousands of years, it has been the traditional land of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. Today, this meeting place is still home to many Indigenous people from across Turtle Island, and we are grateful to have this opportunity to work on this land. As we come together at this online meeting, we are all dispersed across the world. Land acknowledgements are essential, no matter where we are situated. Though we are not all in Toronto, it is imperative that we recognize the lay of land that the university is located on and the land that each of us is physically on. I myself am currently situated at the University of Toronto, which is, as previously stated, the traditional territory of the Huron-Wendat, the Seneca, and most recently, the Mississaugas of the Credit River. I recognize myself as a settler, and I came to settle on the unceded territories of the Matsqui, Kwantlen, Katsi, and Semiahmoo First Nations. It is an absolute imperative that we continue to educate ourselves beyond this land acknowledgement. And the following is a wonderful statement found through indigenous.utoronto.ca. I highly encourage you to educate yourself and to read more upon it. I found it captures and better educates us and why land acknowledgements are important. And I encourage you to learn and educate yourselves on these issues to better appreciate our privileges that allow us to reside on this land. Acknowledging this land is an Indigenous protocol used to express gratitude to those who reside here and to honor the Indigenous people who have lived and worked on this land historically and presently. It allows us the opportunity to appreciate the unique role and relationship that each of us has with this land and provide a gentle reminder of the broader perspectives that expand our understanding to encompass the long-standing, rich history of the land and our privileged role in residing here. To recognize the land is an expression of gratitude and appreciation to those whose territory you reside on, and a way of honoring the Indigenous people who have lived and working on this land from time immemorial. It is important to seek to understand the long history that has brought you to reside at this land and to seek to understand your place within that history. Land acknowledgements do not exist in the past tense or historical context. Colonialism is a current and ongoing process, and we need to build our mindfulness of our present participation. Thank you.
Thank you, Paul. Now I'd like to introduce and welcome our Dean, Rob Wright.
Hello, Daniel students, and welcome to 2020-2021 academic year. I've spoken to many of you in many different situations, but anyone who doesn't know me, I am Robert Wright. I'm the interim dean this year, and I have been teaching in the faculty for over 35 years and have held various administrative positions. I'm excited and to be your dean this year and to be working for and with you in what is going to be at least a very exceptional year. I know all of you have felt the effects of COVID-19 on your education in many large and small ways. This academic year will be shaped by the university and our faculty's response to this virus. I've said this to different groups of students, and I'm going to repeat it. We have to all be very careful this year. This means obeying certain social restrictions, like wearing masks indoors, obeying social distancing guidelines, but there are also things that we want to be doing on an individual level. And what I mean by that is we need to do whatever is necessary to take care of ourselves and to protect others. Our fields are demanding. We do field work, produce designs, conduct research, explore and use theory in our work. And a lot of you are probably accustomed to pulling all-nighters, working through weekends, and doing all you need in order to produce the best work you possibly can. I want to take this opportunity to remind you that work isn't the only important thing, especially this year. When you're working from home, as many of us will be doing for at least this next semester, or maybe even longer. To dramatically improve your well-being and the quality of your work, you need to learn to take breaks. If you feel tired, go to sleep. If you feel restless, go outside, take a walk in your neighborhood, go for a bike ride, have a video call with a friend or loved one, play a video game, read a book, do yoga, meditate, or just lie down and stare at the ceiling. I like that one after a lot of Zoom meetings. The lying down and looking at a ceiling is quite good, actually. It's a good time to take care of yourself, and when you're rested and happy, you do better work and you do it faster, and increased creativity is related to self-care and relaxing every now and then. And if that doesn't work, and sometimes it doesn't, for those situations, ask for help. One of the great things about studying at the University of Toronto is that you're never alone. If you have an academic problem you can't solve on your own, there are people here who will help you get back on track. And a good starting place is our own office of the Registrar, Andrea McGee, and Student Services, where our professional staff are always ready to help you or troubleshoot your experience, your academic experience. Never be afraid to reach out to your instructors who can guide you to the right people and resources to help you. Beyond the Daniels faculty, the University of Toronto offers a variety of services for students who need a little support. Daniels students can access free mental health care. The University Sexual and Gender Diversity Office provides support and social events for LGBTQ students, and the Anti-Racism and Cultural Diversity Office provides help for U of T community members who have experienced racism. Take advantage of these supports. They exist to be used. The events of this summer, including the killing of George Floyd, were an important reminder that systemic racism continues to be an urgent problem throughout society, including the Daniels faculty. We are working with renewed focus and urgency to address our schools' past failings in this area. Black Lives Matter. Some of the ways we're doing this will be very visible. For instance, we're supporting the Daniels Art Directed, a student-run group here at the faculty in their effort to install a very large Support Black Designers mural on the north face of the Daniels building this fall. I'd like to thank those students for their work on this mural project. Our north facade is one of the most visible surfaces in the city, and I can't think of a better use for that kind of platform. We're also working on anti-racism initiatives that will be less visible to the public, so I'd like to take a moment to tell you about some of them. One of the major steps we'll be taking this year is the creation of a diversity and equity office at the Daniels faculty. The office will be led by a full-time diversity and equity officer. The search for a person to fill that role will begin during the fall semester, and the new officer will be responsible for developing a long-term anti-racism and equity plan for the faculty. In the meantime, our existing Diversity and Equity Committee is already busy pushing this process forward. The committee is currently assessing the faculty's curriculum through an equity lens and an eye towards decolonizing our pedagogy. And I'm working with Professor Leah Margolis, director of our landscape architecture program, to follow through on U of T's commitment to the truth and reconciliation process. We hope very soon to establish in the faculty an elder in residence or Indigenous knowledge keeper. Once that's done, we'll have someone in-house to advise us on further implementation of the recommendations of the university's commitment to the TRC. We're working to involve students in this process. The Diversity and Equity Committee has been meeting with student groups, and we've created 8 paid work study positions for students, 4 openings for Diversity and Equity Committee research assistants, and 4 openings for Diversity and Equity Committee administrative assistants. We'll be prioritizing Black, Indigenous, and racialized applicants for these roles. Of course, all of this is only a start. Combating systematic racism is an ongoing and long-term process, and one that will require some self-examination and participation from all of us. We as architects, designers, artists, and scientists have to recognize the work we do has historically played a role in perpetuating racism and other forms of discrimination. This year, I'd like all of us to make a conscious effort to bring more awareness to these issues to our individual practice. Everything we do makes a difference. So let's try and ensure that that difference we make is a positive one. Please work closely with your student unions who have shown exceptional leadership in challenging us as a faculty to do better. I look forward to meeting you all in person as we slowly reopen and begin allowing more person gatherings in our building. And for the latest updates on the building access, please keep an eye on your inboxes and website. Let's do everything possible to have a safe, healthy, and equitable year. And hopefully with grace, compassion, empathy, joy, fun, and a little humor, everything we do this year will be a demonstration of how design, art, and science can come together to meet the challenges we are now facing and make a real contribution to our social and ecological well-being. Thank you for your attention and good luck in your studies. And I thank all the students, the staff, and the faculty for the efforts they put together to get us to this point this year. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Dean Wright. Professor Levitt.
Hello, everybody. Welcome, welcome back or welcome to the school, depending on whether you're returning or a new student. I'm Robert Levitt. I'm the Associate Dean. I work with the directors of all the programs in the administration of all of our different programs, and with Dean Rob Wright in academic administration. I've been at the faculty for nearly 19 years and have taught in urban design and architecture, and collaborated with many of our colleagues here, my colleagues here. I would like to, I wanted to just say one thing. I think while this year is very challenging for all of us, I have some confidence through all of the work that our faculty has done over the summer to prepare what I think is curriculum responsive to the unique circumstances we're facing this year. And I'm very optimistic that the year will be a good one for all of you, and I hope so. So I'm going to introduce you to the directors of each of the respective programs here. And the first is Leah Margolis, who is the Associate Dean of Research and also the director of the Master of Landscape Architecture program. Leah.
Thanks, Robert. And I just wanted to thank Paul for a really thoughtful land acknowledgement. That was really nicely said. As Robert mentioned, I serve as both the Associate Dean of Research and also the MLA Program Director. And as Associate Dean of Research, we've been working really hard this summer to work with the university collaboratively on a research recovery program. And so for those of you who are in a research stream, as you probably already are aware, there are a number of mechanisms for accessing labs, and we've been working, established an internal review committee to look at the feasibility and capacity of our research labs to resume access to buildings in a safe manner. That is an ongoing work, and the review process is done with environmental health and safety in Central University. And so those changes will be communicated to you as there are different changes that are and directives from the province to the university and from the Central University to the individual units. As MLA Program Director, I want to welcome the new incoming landscape students and welcome back our MLA students. Looking forward to reconnecting with all of you personally, class by class. I also want to reiterate what Robert was saying. I feel really optimistic about this academic year as our faculty, and I want to express my gratitude to all the faculty for working so hard this summer on rethinking the curriculum relative to online teaching, but not as a one-to-one translation from previous curriculum to just online teaching, but really rethinking, taking advantage of this opportunity to rethink pedagogy. And I think that there's some really exciting innovations that have come out from this process. As per Rob's talk, MLA program is very much committed to truth and reconciliation and have been so for the last 3 years. And you will see that that there's been ongoing changes in our curriculum and community engagement, and likewise emerging conversations around anti-Black racism as it relates to our curriculum, community engagement, and outreach to students. So I'd just like to welcome everybody, and will encourage you to reach out to me with any questions or issues that you may have. It's going to be a challenging year with all this Zoom and online communications, so we're here for you to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Leah. Next, I'd like to introduce Vivian Lee, who's the director of the Master of Architecture program. Vivian, are you here?
I'm here.
Okay.
Hello, everybody. Good evening. It's nice to have an opportunity to welcome you, all of you. I am the newly appointed Masters of Architecture Director, and it's actually a very exciting time for our program. Even, I think, before all of the formidable changes that have arisen in the last few months have come up, we are actually under curriculum changes from a 3.5-year program to a 3-year program. So in the works was already considerations about how to reshape our pedagogical goals for 2020. What are the things that we prioritize given issues of climate emergency, issues of health, obviously, issues of social justice. And in this moment, we have an opportunity to reshape everything alongside, obviously, thinking about remote opportunities. And I think what the remote semester actually offers us is a chance to reach out to kind of the most esteemed experts from all over the world. And we've done so by already starting to invite them as our research studio instructors, as some of you know. And I hope that these things are here to stay and that we're reaching far beyond our own school and trying to understand more globally how other people are reshaping our discipline. So I am available. I'm like to answer all my emails every day. So feel free to reach out to me and ask any questions that you might have. Thank you, Robert.
Thank you, Vivian. Next, I'd like to introduce everyone to Sandy Smith, who is the director of the forestry programs.
Thank you, Robert. Welcome to everyone. I've said many welcomes over the last couple of weeks to our forestry students. We started orientation a couple of weeks ago. Our incoming new Masters of Forest Conservation Professional Program and returning students. And of course, we also have our research stream students in the doctoral streams of forestry and forest science. And I would just say, we're excited. Everyone else is excited. And we're even more excited ourselves because this merger started last year and it's really growing at the moment with Daniels. It's a whole new perspective for us, certainly in forestry, and I think also for those in the other parts of Daniels. So I look forward to it being a very productive and synergistic merger for our different programs. I'm this year also acting Masters of Forest Conservation Coordinator. Our current coordinator is on leave this year, a welcome break. And so if there's any questions from for the professional program, those forestry students that are in our MFC, please get a hold of me and reach out. We are, for those who aren't in forestry, we're actually across the road. So you will have to leave one Spadina circle to find us. We're in the Earth Sciences building just across the circle. So we look forward to people coming and exploring. the space that we're in. There's a lot of research scientific labs. With COVID, you can't go in there right away, but I'm sure it will open up, and I'm very optimistic that as this wave sweeps through again, that we'll be able to sort of merge our different types, our students and our different interests and programs. And so I'm looking forward to that. This is something that we want to grow in. Daniel's is our links with landscape architecture and functioning landscapes, as well as biomaterials and wood products and wood science. So there's a lot of great things to come, and I look forward to seeing you and welcome you all. Thank you.
Thank you, Sandy. And we are all excited about about forestry's joining our faculty. I next would like to introduce John Casperson, who's the coordinator for forestry research. John.
Hi, everybody. Welcome back. So as the coordinator of research programs in forestry, I'm responsible for two programs. We have a PhD program, which has about 40 students in it, and a smaller master's program with 5 students or so, varying from year to year. Unlike the course-based programs, the focus here is research. And so the student experience really revolves around the research that they do in the lab or in the field or wherever it may be. Because we're in forestry, which is an interdisciplinary discipline, the research varies quite a lot, from the natural sciences to the social sciences to engineering. So the kind of work that people do varies a lot. And my job is to make sure that students make it through the program successfully. And I also play some role in the MFC program as well. So I work with Sandy and Sally, shaping that program as well. So any research stream students out there, or any students who are interested in might be interested in doing research, if you are interested, please come and talk to me, and I'd be glad to talk with you.
Thank you, John. Next, I would like to introduce you to Michael Piper, who is the director of the post-professional program in the Masters of Urban Design.
Thanks, Rob. It's been a pleasure to see and meet the incoming and current cohorts over the last few months. I've been teaching at the Daniels faculty for about 8 years and started as director of the program this coming summer. What excites me the most about our faculty and the MUD program particularly is the idea that it could serve as a kind of knowledge hub about urbanism in Toronto. Among the largest cities in North America, Toronto is unique as an urban area that is only really coming into its own. It's not always pretty, nor necessarily perfect, but it's energizing to watch it play out in front of us. We've got a great group of instructors, many of whom actively participate in the building of the city. And we have some new coursework and programming aimed at engaging its politics, social processes, and cultural production. And so I'm excited to work with you all and take advantage of the opportunities this kind of strange situation online that we've been presented with. So welcome to you all.
Thank you, Michael. Next up, I'd like to introduce to everyone Mason White, who is the director of the post-professional programs. Mason.
Thanks, Robert. Good evening, everyone. Good morning, wherever you might be. What does day matter? What does time matter, right? Wherever you might be, you're chiming in on this. It's a pleasure to be on this list with these hardworking colleagues. I have kind of a very small pebble that I push up a hill with this post-professional program while all my colleagues move these giant boulders. But it's great to be on here. We're basically a post-professional program of Master of Architecture and Master of Landscape Architecture. We're working on a renaming program within our degree, which will be a Master of Design Research eventually, which is a very exciting new foray. It's a one-year program. Actually, I've done my teaching. I really enjoyed teaching in August with the incoming cohort of post-professional students who will now be pursuing their thesis over the next 2 terms, along with an elective group. And really the post-professional program has strong alignments with the Master of Urban Design. As Michael stated, it is also post-professional, and we're working closely with Jesse in the PhD program. So after you've gotten your MArch or your MLA or your other degree and you're interested to return back, happy to answer any questions you have about the program. Thanks so much, and welcome to everyone.
Okay, thank you, Mason. I don't believe that the next person I would like to introduce is Jesse Le Cavalier, who is the director of the PhD program. Jesse, are you here by any chance? I don't think that he's able to meet to meet with everybody tonight. So I hope that he is able to meet everybody at some point. I'm sure he has been in contact with the new PhD students who are members of our new inaugural class in a new, what I think is a unique PhD program, which combines some traditional areas of historical research with areas of applied research in new combinations of what we hope is a new and unusual or unique cohort of students. So there will be other occasions to meet Jesse. Next on the list is Jeannie Kim, who is the director of our single largest program, the undergraduate program. Jeannie.
Hi, everyone. So welcome to everyone who's new to our faculty, and welcome back to everyone who's returning. For those of you who don't know me, as Robert said, I'm Jeannie Kim. I've been the director of the Architectural Studies program for, I think, 6 years. And typically I teach in both the undergraduate program and the MArch program. I don't have much to sort of add on to what everyone else has said. I do want to say that I'm very grateful for the work that our faculty has done over the summer, both to think creatively about how to deliver our curriculum online, but also working to address issues of diversity and equity in our pedagogy across the specialist streams and the comprehensive stream within the curriculum. And so those are just initial steps, I know, and we need to set a kind of midterm and long-term goals on that front, but everyone has been very patient and also very hardworking on that. And I'm looking forward to seeing the fruits of that. I think one of the things, like everyone else, I'm very excited about the changes that have been made for delivering our curriculum online, and grateful to you, the students, for being patient with us as we figure that out, but also joining the ride. I think in terms of one thing that I'm particularly excited about in the program, I think we've had the opportunity, not unlike what Vivian said, to take advantage of some people we might not otherwise have been able to enlist teaching in the program. And I think that their research interests and the ideas that they're going to bring into the undergraduate program this year are going to, I'm pretty excited to see the fruits of that, and hopefully some of you are taking those classes. So just to name a few, that includes Michael Fastiaju, who's coming from Yale University, Jia Gu, who's coming from the California College of the Arts, Elise Hunchuk, who's based in Berlin but teaches at both the Royal College of Art and the Bartlett, and Douglas Robb, who is at UBC. And so I think those individuals bring their specific research interests to the curriculum, but it might be a strange advantage of being remote, because I don't think we could have convinced them to fly here every week otherwise. So I hope some of you are taking advantage of that, and wish you all the best with the start of term.
Thank you, Jeannie. The next two introductions are people who are unable to make it tonight. It's for Charles Stankovich, who is the director of the Visual Studies program, and Sue Lloyd, who is the coordinator for the undergraduate program in Visual Studies. I hope that you will have chances during the course of the semester to meet them virtually and at some point in the future in person. But I believe that Charles has prepared a recording for this evening. So Nini, let it roll. What a nice smile.
My name is Charles Linguich. I'm the director of the Visual Studies programs here in the Daniels faculty. I want to wish you a warm welcome as you kick the year off. We've been asked to do quick introductions, so I will do that both at the undergraduate and graduate level. We're pretty vertically integrated faculty, meaning our faculty teach at both levels, and we have a mirror between the undergrad and the graduate. Our undergraduate is a Bachelor of Arts honors degree. It's a liberal arts degree with two focused specialists. One is the classic studio, which entails everything from painting classes through to publishing classes and curating classes. We also have a critical practices degree, which looks at artist writings and institutions and exhibition making and institutional structures for people who want to work in the art field, but not necessarily as an artist. The graduate mirrors that structure. We have the Masters of Visual Studies in Studio, which again is a very interdisciplinary socio-political program and a curatorial studies program. They run in parallel with each other with a unique interleaving between those students. The degree is a 2-year professional degree, but really run as a research degree, meaning it's not a licensed degree or professional degree in the sense of industry, but rather ones where the students focus on from the get-go on their individual research practice. That's supported by an incredibly diverse faculty of practicing artists and curators throughout Toronto and internationally. So I suggest you look on the website. And I also want to say we really, really welcome people from all across the faculty, from forestry to architecture, and we usually have many travelers from landscape architecture particularly take our electives or take our studio classes at the undergraduate level. We really encourage that, and I wish you the best, even though it's COVID. And I know probably the art program is one of the greatest challenges to be teaching online, but we're definitely been finding unique and interesting ways to do that. So I'll sign off there, and welcome to 2020.
So I guess thank you doubly, virtual Charles. Well, that's the end of the introductions of our program directors. I'm going to pass the ball back to Andrea McGee.
Thank you, Robert, and thank you to all of our faculty. It has been quite the summer. So the Office of the Registrar and Student Services, ORS for short, is here for all of you. No matter what program, concern, or question you may have, we are your first point of contact. As Dean Wright indicated, please don't be shy. You really can ask us anything. Our office is made up of a team of individuals committed to facilitating students' academic experience at the university and specifically at the Daniels faculty. In addition to performing registrarial functions, really the nuts and bolts of your registration, we are also the first stop for all academic, financial, personal, and general advising. And we're always here to assist all students experiencing any difficulties that might have an impact on your academic work, such as illness, a family emergency, or financial problems. You can reach us by phone or email. And we also have just opened our doors. So Monday to Friday from 10 to 4 for some limited in-person support. You will find some staff members rotating in the office. And of course, all current health and safety precautions are in place. It's very important that you monitor your U of T email account regularly. This is where all official information will be sent. So for those new students that might not have yet changed their email addresses on their Rosie Acorn account, please do so as soon as you are able. You will receive such things as deadline reminders, course information, awards, competition information, as well as updates regarding events and other opportunities. Our office works with others within the university and at Daniels specifically to offer you a number of workshops and events. Some of those upcoming events are listed here. These will be communicated to you in the coming weeks. Finally, I want to remind you that you are never alone and we are here to support you. In addition to our services, you are supported by a variety of offices and resources across campus. Dean Wright also mentioned a few of those. Some additional ones are listed here. If you are unsure, please just ask for help. What is listed here is not a comprehensive list of support and services that are available to you. We will work with you to find out who is the right person to seek that assistance from. In addition to all of these services and supports, you have some fabulous student societies and student members that are also here to assist you and support you within our Daniels student community. So first of those that I would like to introduce is Randa from AFSU. Randa, you there? Maybe on mute?
Yes, sorry, I was muted. Hi, everyone. Thank you, Andrea. As Andrea said, I'm the president of the Architecture and Visual Studies Student Union for the year of 2020-2021, and I'm honored to represent such a vibrant, resilient, hardworking, and very passionate community. So as your student representatives, it is our responsibility to advocate for you and ensure that your environment promotes and supports your success and growth, not only academically, but also personally and professionally, because we understand that these are dimensions that are interconnected. So we hope that you will reach out to us if you need any help, guidance, and you can contact us via email at afsu@daniels.utoronto.ca or through Instagram at UofTAFSU. We're also on Facebook, and you can search AFSU. And these will also be the means of communication through which we keep you updated on any events, announcements, and opportunities. We've also created the Student Equity Alliance alongside GALTSU and FGSA, and multiple clubs have come up over this summer, such as Black Students at Daniels Making Difference, to join our already established Daniels Art Directive, called AIAS. So we hope that you will consider joining our community outside of the classroom. Again, please feel free to reach out at any time. Thank you and welcome.
Thanks so much, Randa. Next, I'd like to introduce Curtis.
Hi, everyone. It's so exciting to have everyone together again after this long and sometimes lonely summer. So GALTSU, we represent all the graduate programs at Daniels except for forestry, which is represented by our peers at the FGSA. As an organization, what we do is we organize and run events. We make decisions about where to put our resources and money for projects that benefit the student body at Daniels. And we advocate for students in our collective and individual student experiences. And we create new initiatives that support important issues and opportunities that we're looking for. And I mean, ultimately our job is about bringing student interests to the faculty and to the administration. We put student voices where decisions are being made, and it really means that we have an incredible opportunity to be a part of shaping our own educations here. And finally, I just wanted to remind everyone that student participation is really important. We want everyone, as many people as we can, to have their voices heard, and that's why we're here. And really, participating in GALTSU, it's an opportunity to contribute to our collective experience and to set our own goals for our own education and our experience here. And there's also lots of opportunities to participate in committees outside of Daniels, to meet professionals and other students from other schools and external committees. And it's just really a great opportunity to meet with other like-minded people and to join larger discussions. So we look forward to the year. We hope you can keep in touch with us. We send out email newsletters, and you can follow us on Instagram. And yeah, I'll hand it off to our next speaker. Thank you.
Thank you, Curtis. And finally, we have Nicole from the FGSA.
Hi, thanks, Andrea. Hi, my name is Nicole Tranic. I'm the chair of the Forestry Graduate Students Association. We represent and plan events for the graduate forestry students. We've given our talk to the forestry students in their in the orientation, so I'll keep this short. There are 6 executives in total. There's myself, the chair, Hiba, the vice chair, who's in charge of the social media, Neve, who's the point of contact for the research stream, as well as an undergrad liaison. Colin, who is the point of contact for the Masters of Forestry Conservation and a liaison for alumni. Noah, who is the athletic rep, who typically does the timber sports, but unfortunately they're canceled this year. And finally, Richard, the treasurer. Our team runs from January to December, so we'll be the forestry reps for the next 4 months, and we'll have elections in November for the 2021 team. Thank you.
Thanks so much, Nicole, and thanks to all of you. And I need to echo to all of you students out there. These are an amazing group of student volunteers who work very closely with the administration and help make sure that all of you are heard, and also provide a lot of fun activities in addition to everything that is serious. So next I would like to introduce Mason White again, who is the coordinator, I guess, of the programming committee.
Yes, thanks so much, Andrea. As many have alluded to, there's some great opportunities with our unfortunate online situation that has emerged in terms of teaching, which gives us even more bounties of opportunities when it comes to lectures and events. A little bit of restructuring. We have a series of lectures, which are by individuals, and we have a series of talks which are thematically driven. And even more so this year, we're really focused on the diversity of our programs, as well as the urgency of contemporary challenges that we're all too familiar with already, that you've been hearing about. So this year, the themes are called resolutions and agencies. And this allows us to explore design's capacity to respond to activism, resilience, decolonization, density, narrative, and justice, among many other topics. You can see some of them up on your screen here. We actually had our first event yesterday on activism and architecture with a series. We'll actually be having 3 of these called Takes Action. You can see there's one also called Distancing Density. There's an event on celebrating the life of Blanche Lemko van Ginkel and her achievements, and one of the first female deans in Canada. And we're concluding the talk series with the Architecture and Dialogue as part of the AgaCon Award for Architecture. And following this, I think there's a slide that shows, yeah, this is the graphic design work of Makus, Anishinaabe graphic designer that did the graphic identity for our lectures, which is a collaboration with all of the program directors who've been really amazing behind the scenes, helping me bring together and representing this diversity on the various programs. I think the next slide has a list of all of the speakers that are up there. So really, you can come in your slippers, you can have popcorn, you can be talking to a friend while you're listening in on any of these events. There's really virtually no excuse to not be attending our events. They happen at all different times of day. Most of the lectures are middle of the day, around the noon and 1 o'clock hour, so you can tune in between classes. And most of the talks happen on Thursdays, usually in the evening hour. And you can see also at the tail end there, very kind of hot off the press, working with Robert Levitt and Vivian Lee. We've confirmed Douglas Cardinal will be our Frank Gehry International Visiting Chair in Architectural Design this year. And most of his programming will be in the winter. So keep an eye out for that. And please, please, please visit our website, and please follow us on all the social media to get all of the news. Please also be alert that Zoom events require, or it's effective to register in advance, so we can anticipate your viewing and send you the link by which you can access these. This is a way we're having a secure event. So if you have any questions about programming, speak to me. Otherwise, behind the scenes, Nini Brody and Aiden Cowling have been instrumental in pulling this all together. So you can reach out to any one of us on that front. Thank you so much.
Thanks so much, Mason. And now I would like to turn it over to Jane Wolf from the Diversity and Equity Committee.
Thank you. Hi, I'm Jane Wolf. And I'm the chair of the Diversity and Equity Committee, and I also teach in the landscape program. Mostly that's what I do. It's been great to see my students these last few weeks, and I'm looking forward to meeting you all over the course of the term. It's late in the evening, so just a few brief words about what the committee and what we've been doing in the last months. First, for people who are new to the faculty, the committee's job is to recommend principles, goals, and practices for diversity and equity and inclusion here at the faculty. And we make those recommendations to the Dean's Office, to Faculty Council, which is our governing body, and also to our colleagues. And our membership includes representatives from all of our teaching programs, from our administrative staff, and from our student unions. We've been working in a few different directions over the summer, I think all important directions. And the first thing is to support community-wide discussion about combating systemic discrimination and anti-Black racism at the faculty. So in that direction, we're planning 3 all-school meetings, which will be supported and moderated by an anti-Black racism expert to talk about all of these issues at the faculty. And one of those will be in November, one in January, and one in late March. So we'll be able to talk about things as they're evolving over the course of the academic year. We've also invited BEDA, the Black Architects and Interior Designers Association, to prepare and lead a panel about affecting change in the design professions. And that'll be taking place also early in the winter, shortly after the new year. The second thing we've been working on is changing the culture inside the faculty. One of our efforts is to organize training for faculty and staff members on anti-Black racism, on unconscious bias, and on Indigenous cultural competency. So all of that will also be unfolding over the next few months. And we've been talking with program directors about immediate changes to course content that address diversity, equity, and inclusion. And I have to say that all of those conversations make me very optimistic that you'll see these topics on the near horizon if they haven't come up already in the first week of school. And I want to especially thank our colleague, Assistant Professor Bomani Kemet, for his contributions to this effort. And thanks to all the program directors for talking to us. The third thing we've been working on is improving communication around what the committee does, and in general around issues of diversity and equity and efforts around the faculty to address those issues. So over the summer, we've launched a diversity and equity webpage, and that includes meeting minutes and reports from the committee, and it also includes quite a bit of other information about what's happening at the faculty. And we'll be updating that page as the term works on. Well, the term goes along. So the other thing is that we're working with Hannah Brokenshire, our new communications officer, to share information through social media and other platforms that are direct and accessible. So many thanks to Hannah for her expertise and for her insights about putting the word out. The other thing I want to say, and I think the thing that's most important in my mind about the Diversity and Equity Committee, is that I want it to be a place, it needs to be a place where people feel that they can bring any concern they have about issues of diversity, equity, and inclusion. All of our meetings are open to guests. So if you want to attend, please let us know, and we'll include you on the meeting link. And you can always write to us through the link that's on the Diversity and Equity web page. And I think that might have been on the previous slide, if we can go back one. Yeah, there we go. So that's a great way to find us. And the other thing, and now it would be great to go to the next slide. Thank you. As Dean Wright said, if you want to be even more directly and closely involved in the committee's work, please apply for one of our 8 work-study jobs. We have different kinds of positions, both research and communications opportunities, and what happens exactly in those jobs is going to be shaped by your ambitions and talents. The applications are due next Monday, September 21st, through the CLNX website, and the numbers for the job postings are on the slide. So please do apply. I think would be a great chance to work together. And whether or not you apply, I'm looking forward to lots of chances to talk over the course of the year. So please don't be shy. Thank you.
Thank you, and thank you, Dean Wright, Professor Levitt, Professor White, Professor Wolf, all of our faculty and our Student Society executives that have joined us today. I would now like to take the opportunity to open the floor to you to ask your questions. Please use the Q&A function to submit a question, and any one of us here will be happy to answer any of those questions. Does anybody have any questions? Just put them in the Q&A. So on the bottom of your Zoom bar, there's a Q&A function, and you can type in a question or comment or something that you would like to discuss.
We've been so incredibly thorough in our presentation that there are no questions.
It looks that way. Oh, I found one. So we have someone asking as to how are students contributing to the changes made regarding equity? So maybe I leave that with you, Jane.
Yeah, I was going to say I think that's probably for me. Well, I'm very grateful to say that we've had a lot of thoughtful contribution from our student union representatives on the committee. We have a representative from the Forestry Student Union, Nicole Tranic, whom you met, Janice Miyake from Galtsu, and we have 2 undergraduate representatives, Randa Omar and Clara James. So they've been very thoughtful, and they've also helped us to understand a lot about the work of a new student organization, the Student Equity Alliance, acronym SEA, who've been very articulate and active in communicating their ambitions and priorities. So those are the most direct and focused contacts that we've had. I've also had notes and questions from students individually and ad hoc, and I welcome those.
Thank you. Any other questions from anyone in the audience? Question is, will all fall lectures and talks be available online? Mason or Nini?
Yes, we will be streaming them live through Zoom, but also through, I believe, YouTube is our chosen choice. And they will be recorded, captioned, and then posted. So there will be a delay between the live event and the ability to watch a live event. But yes.
Great.
Unless
actually, Mason, they'll be immediately live, but then the captioning will happen afterwards.
Yeah. Yeah, captioning is central before we post it.
Wonderful. These great opportunities and advantages we can take with this virtual framework that we are currently in. We need to take all the positives that we can. Are there any other questions just type them into the Q&A and we'll be happy to answer them. Going once, going twice. Now, Dean Wright or Professor Levitt or anyone, does anyone have any final comments they would like to say? We don't seem to have any questions coming through. So if that's the case, wherever everyone is, I am sure that they might have an extra reading to do or a break or a walk that they need to take. So as there are no questions, I don't know, Dean Wright, if you'd like to close us out or.
Yeah, I'm always grateful to be able to close a Zoom meeting in terms of, since I've been doing it all day, but I do want to express my gratitude to the students for all the contributions they've made to this transition we're going through, and to encourage them again through their student unions to be very active. It's an incredibly important part of our experience here as designers. It's I love the fact that when we did a student survey, being online, students said they were less interested in talking to us on a regular basis and more interested to talk to each other, which is true because students often learn more from each other than sometimes they do from us by sharing ideas. And I hope the students will take advantage of the online environment and any assistance we can give them to be able to have those in communications. I was dealing with a communication this morning where somebody was saying, you know, they're from far away, for example, California. They don't know any of the other students and they find it very difficult to understand how they can interact and integrate with students. And I think this is where the student unions play an amazing role, that those students can connect with that and find some sort of community even though they're far away.
So thank you to everyone, and good evening, good morning to wherever you may be right now. I hope you have a great day, sleep ahead, and we look forward to seeing you again, whether it's virtually or in person. We are all here for you, and thank you and goodbye.
Bye.